Alright, so time for another video I do before work. That seems to be a recurring thing. Anyway, so today I'm going to be doing a review of probably one of my most anticipated movies to come to streaming, and that is Prey. Now, if you guys remember, Prey is kind of a big deal because it's the latest Predator film after, you know, that debacle that was The Predator. And this had a lot of writing on it. This had a lot writing on the film. I'm not doing this on Patreon also. I just decided, you know what, if it's a streaming movie I really like, I want to put it on here. If it's a theatrical movie, I'll put it out on the Patreon. But anyway, so Prey is basically a movie that I was really excited for. It's one of my most anticipated movies to come out, and it had a lot writing on it. It really did. Like, it had, you know, a different feel, it had a different cast, it had a lot, and it was like also doomed to streaming. And if you guys remember, earlier in the year we had another movie that was got the streaming treatment and didn't go so well. It was a massacre in of itself, one might say. Yeah. So, what did I think of Prey? I guess you could call it like not really so much a prequel, but more like a story in of itself. So, Prey was damn good. Now, is it one of the is it better? Is it one of the best Predator films to come out since Predator? Yeah. Although I will defend Predators, and I do like Predator 2. This does rank, like, I think I would put this as it stands. I think I would put it just above Predators and right behind Predator 2. Predator is obviously the one movie that, like, you can't top. But I would say this has probably been the third best, but that, you know, we've had such a diminishing returns of Predator. It's really actually kind of fucking, like, it's a breath of fucking air, of fresh air. Tongue-tied there. I felt like I was having a mini stroke there for a second. And this film is great. It's just great. Amber Midthunder, the main actress who plays Naru and our eyes going into this world, is great. This movie lived and died by her. Like, this film literally lived and died by her performance, and she gives a great performance. I think definitely she's going to be looked at for a lot of films now. I definitely think from this one she's definitely going to have I feel like she's going to have a good film career. I absolutely believe she's going to have a great film career in the future. She's strong, but, like, here's the thing. Like, I think a lot of people were turned off because it's not like, oh, you can't hunt because you're a woman. It's more like you're not ready, you're impulsive, and you don't think shit through. And I feel like the film, like, if that was because I remember, like, that was the movie description, and people were, like, instantly like, oh, it's about the anti-patriarchy, and there is, like, one obligatory patriarchal quote in there. You'll know it when you see it. But really, it's not so much that she can't, it's not so much as she can, she can't hunt because she's a woman. It's more like she's inexperienced. And out the film, you see that. Like, you clearly see that inexperience and how she trains to overcome it. It's actually kind of cool. You know, it's kind of nice to see a character, and also I know people are like, oh, she didn't have any training and she beat the Predator. Bitch, you saw her training through the entire fucking movie. You know, did Arnold have training to beat a Predator? And I'm not talking like, oh, he had military training. No, did he have fucking military training to fight a fucking alien? I don't think so. Did Danny Glover had more guns than the goddamn Punisher, and he beat the Predator. And all he had was basic police training. Don't you come at me with this fucking bullshit on training. Ugh. Fucking kid with autism beat a Predator, for God's sake. You know? Which, that's still like, that one, like, that movie is insulting. Speaking of someone who's on the spectrum, that Predator is just fucking insulting to me. On so many levels, and God, that's a whole thing to unpack, but getting back to Prey. Anyway, this is a damn good film. It's shot beautifully. The scenery is just great. The scenery is just beautiful. I think this was shot in, like, either Montana or Northern California. I could be totally wrong. And actually, no, I think they shot in Canada. Yeah, I think that was shot in Canada, and I was like, damn, this is really good. And watching the comments, someone's gonna go, actually, it was shot here. I don't care. It's out in the forest. It's beautiful. I want to go hiking now. Thanks, movie. You know, not in hiking in Florida weather and Florida environment, but I mean, like, you know, go out hiking in the, you know, nice where it hikes, you know? Anyway, so what did so this is a very good character piece of a film. This isn't like a dark action movie, and it's actually kind of nice to see an original idea from an old property. It's not like with Jurassic World where it's like, oh, we're gonna throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. It's actually like Prey takes an old IP, an old intellectual property, and breathes new life into it. It breathes like this new kind of life into the whole Predator mythos. And I really like that. It's kind of nice. It's not like, okay, so there is one obligatory quote from the movies. Like, they do use one, but thankfully it's one. You'll know it when you hear it. But, like, and they do use some tactics from the movies, but it's not like they're not quoting the movie. Like, someone, like Naru throws her axe into someone's chest and goes, stick around. Like, that doesn't happen, thankfully. It's a breath of air. It's a breath of fresh air to see a intellectual property that's been used so many times and been used, like, has to depend on it's the original movie to get shit done. It's actually kind of nice to see, like, an original concept with an old IP. It's really fucking refreshing to see an original idea come to life. Let's talk about some negatives real quick before we go any further. Because there's only one, but it's not so much a negative. It's more, well, two things, but it's not so much against the movie itself. One, I understand the budget was really low. I get that, like, after The Predator and the diminishing returns of the Predator films, I understand that the budget was kind of low. I imagine also what didn't help was this was filmed during the merger between Disney and Fox. So, I'm just glad this movie came out. Fucking mosquito. Fuck you, bug. Anyway. So, this movie, like, I'm just happy it came out, as opposed to another movie that Warner Brothers decided to fucking shelve. Fuck y'all for getting rid of Batgirl. Just a good, healthy fuck you to there. I know the CGI animals are bad. The CGI gore's not good, but, like, I have to take it as it is, because this was a low-budget film, and that's forgivable. Like, David Trachtenberg is a good enough director to do cool shit in a movie and know how to utilize what he has. That's how he did 10 Cloverfield Lane, was a minimal fucking budget. And that's what he did here, is kind of utilize that budget. Is the CGI gore pretty noticeable? Unfortunately, yes, but the story is good enough where I move past it, because I'm like, I get it. You guys had to work with very, very little. You guys had to work with very, very little in this film, so that's forgivable. The French fur traders that are just mustache twirling cartoon bad guys, they're just there for cannon fodder, and I don't care. Like, sometimes I just want cannon fodder. Like, I just need a body count in my movies. And it's also cool to see the Predator technology, this version of the Predator, utilize this kind of technology, so that was really fun. Also, I imagine, Chris, I know you're watching this review, I know you probably got a bit of a kick out of watching a bunch of white people get slaughtered by, white settlers get slaughtered mercilessly on the land they stole from your ancestors, just saying. I'm pretty sure Chris got a kick out of that. Like, he told me one time he was all ready to watch he was all ready to watch those fur traders die, and I'm sure he got a kick out of it. God, and some of the kills are really imaginative. I love the Predator technology in here, like how they use the targeting system and how they utilize, like, the arrows. So cool. I love the bio-skull mask. The Predator design is also really cool. I really like how it's primal. I was thinking this whole time it was a female Predator that they were going to use. I thought it was going to be a female Predator, but I'm not mad that it's not. I'm not. I just thought, like, that was the logical step to go, was the female Yautja, but that's not the case. There's also a bit of argument I've seen on the internet between diehard Predator fans if this is a Bad Blood or not. I would say no, because it's not killing people, like, randomly. It's picking at targets. Like, when it has Naru in its sights one time, it doesn't go after her because she's not a threat. and she's not armed. There's no sport. If it was a Bad Blood, he just fucking murder her right there. I know some people said, well, what about when he, there's a couple scenes where it does look like he's killing people. And I'm like, yeah, because they were armed. Although there is one where you could make the argument, there is one or two kills where you could make that argument that he could be Bad Blood. But I think it's because, like, he's new, this is supposed to be the Predator's first time on Earth. Or, I guess, like, he just doesn't know. It's like, oh shit, it's still alive! Stab, stab, stab! I imagine it's something like that. Yeah. It's just a damn good movie. I really love it. I absolutely love this movie. It's so nice to see, like, a classic IP get utilized in a new way, as opposed to just depending on, you know, what worked before and just working on just, you know, carrying itself from there. Looking at you! Literally a lot of movies coming out lately. So, yeah, this is just good. It's just good, man. Like, I had high expectations, and a lot of those expectations were met. I really hope we get more Predator films in this vein. Is it the best Predator movie to come out since Predator? I would say it's the best one to come out as of late. Like, compared to, like, the AVP movies and The Predator, I would say this is good. Like, this is nice to see a good... Let's just have a good Predator movie. I don't care if the budget's low. It's just good. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is pretty much my review for Prey. You guys tell me in the comments below. What did you guys think of Prey? Did you guys like it? Hate it? Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you haven't already, hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.